Hello, everybody. Just thought I would share a recent play by email of Avalon Hill's um, D-Day from 1961 with the 77 rules. I'm going to go through the log file rather quickly, just to make it just so you can see how it played out. Here's basically taking a look at the German setup. They basically left Brittany mostly undefended, Bay of Biscay undefended, and South France undefended. I was playing the Allies and my friend Tim was playing the Axis. So I'm going to click through this fairly fast just so you can see kind of how it played out. I'll kind of talk through it as we go. Initial invasion took place in Brittany, a bloodless landing, including an airborne drop to kind of surround Lorient. Germans attempt to seal off the peninsula. Actually really enjoy this game. It's a decent game. Also played Russian campaign in Stalingrad, which Stalingrad's probably a little simpler than this game. Russian campaign's a little bit more. I never have played Fortress Europa. I've read some good things about it. As you can see here, I'm making my move on to Lorient there. I do take it with a lucky 2-to-1 die roll. Again, the Axis sealing off the peninsula. We did make a few rules snafus here. I think early on, Tim didn't realize that the Axis could use strategic movement, could not use strategic movement, and also go adjacent. So we ended up remedying that about turn 5, I believe. Now I'm going to try to seal off Brest, which was originally my plan to get Brest as my logistics hub. Place my first HQ unit in Lorient there. Whittle down Brest, I believe, over a two-turn period. Took out 2 of the 3 static divisions there. And then I tried to just reinforce the securing that peninsula to allow myself to build up a beachhead there at Lorient and Brest. Axis committing more and more troops, bringing down the reserve panzers from Germany. Apparently they woke the Führer up, so he was sleeping, but made an ill-advised one-to-one attack there, and I think 3 Wehrmacht divisions went down early, which I think Tim also learned early that some of those attacks, especially as the Germans, you don't want to make an attack unless you can get a 3-to-1, like a lot of those old Avalon Hill games, like Stalingrad and Africa Corps, Waterloo. Actually never played Waterloo or Gettysburg, never played those. I always wanted one. Saw one at a good price a while back and never bought it, and kind of kicking myself for that one. Brest falls. Actually looking pretty good for the Allies to potentially break out of the peninsula there. And then the Axis reinforces with the defense in depth, making it pretty difficult to break out there. A lot of losses there on the peninsula on both sides. Stacking up, bringing even more troops in there. Run out of space pretty quick on that peninsula, especially the closer the Germans can tighten that noose. Let's see what turn we're on here, if I mentioned it. I'll mention it. I think we're about turn 4 or 5. This is kind of where it turns into, like, feels a little bit World War I-ish here. We're just slugging it out and just trading a hex for a few divisions. And then I go into a defensive posture here, which is never good. Turn 9, the Allies are eligible for a second invasion. The question is, where is it going to be? And that's what he's anticipating too, waiting for that other shoe to drop. think I try one more breakout here. That's when I go with a couple of 1-to-1 attacks and roll some sixes, double yikes. 3 6s I roll there, which is not good. I wasn't happy. You can see lost a lot of divisions there. I made up for one of the Wehrmacht's ill-advised divisions. I think I was digging through the replacements to put some replacements on the board. Second, yep. Germans rearranging, preparing for that second invasion. Take Lorient back. Got really bloody there, as you can see. Lots of dead divisions at that point, both sides. Where I think Tim had made a mistake. Oh, there comes the second invasion, excuse me, onto Normandy, a bloodless landing in Normandy. Now I've opened up not really 2 fronts, but I've exposed a lot of those Germans that are sitting defending the peninsula. Very interesting predicament indeed for the access. Still trying to secure the peninsula, and now trying to secure Normandy, trying to seal off that hole that is in between Normandy and Brittany, moving all those very slow static divisions. They're great for defending cities and behind rivers, but man, they can't move very fast, especially can't use the strategic movement. Here's where I'm attempting to break out here. I get a very lucky 1-to-1 attack against that SS Panzer division there. Can't remember which one it is. I think it's the 9th. Find out the second. One and take them out, which basically opens a pretty big hole. First SS Panzer creates a very large hole for the Germans to defend there. On the breakout, essentially. Germans got to try to plug that massive hole now, all the while dealing with my interdiction, not allowing those guys. This is where I think Tim made a vital move, vital mistake. He's moving all these Panzer divisions into this area here. And I think he should have been turning tail and starting a slow withdrawal across all those cities and rough terrain. Instead, he committed them to try to stop the breakout, which I thought was a little bit of a strategic error. Took a couple turns, I think, but eventually I think he'll see that that was not a wise decision. Bringing all these new divisions onto Normandy with strategic movement just allows them to extend my lines very quickly and seal off those Brittany defenders. Moves him out there. It looks like he's forming some sort of defensive line, which is going to have a chance to hold, but in reality, I'm just able to basically pick off divisions at a time, and he just has less and less troops to defend every turn. There's an example there. Sealing these guys off 2-3 divisions at a time. I made some strategic movement errors there that they shouldn't have been able to go. Strategic movement going adjacent, so I had to undo those. Take me a second to undo those. Sealing off those static divisions. Less and less units every turn to defend, moving those guys, extending those lines out. rolled a lot of ones on rolls I didn't need to roll ones on. Setting up interdiction, not allowing those guys to move. And again, he's moving west when he should be moving east at this point. Still trying to hold the line. Less and less. He's got headquarters units in the defense. He's got paratroop division. No, it wasn't even a division. I think it's a paratroop brigade, just not. Use my replacement points, bring on hell on wheels. Start to seal off some of those conventional forces there. I think this is definitely where Tim's realizing his error, that should have probably fallen back with those guys, because now they're just going to die one at a time or two at a time. So get that 3-to-1 surrounded and they can't go anywhere. They're going to die. It's just a question of whether or not they're taking allied forces down with them. Boom, DLM done. DUN done. And he point still trying to salvage it. It's all wide open all the way up to Antwerp now on the coastline. It was to La Rochelle when he probably should have just been hightailing it back as far as he could have there. I think he'll realize his mistake here as I seal off La Rochelle with about 7 or 8 divisions and not allow them to leave. Counterattack there. Whittled me down a little bit, but so close to breaking out. That's what the 6th Army said. All Allied forces in supply. I'm going to pause here and stop it and create a second video. So you can watch them one at a time. Should be about 15 minutes a piece. So